Choosing the right music for your travel videos is very important because it directly creates the mood for your video, and it also defines how you can add it to the beat, and therefore it's directly responsible for all the emotions that the viewer of your travel video feels. So in this video I want to share some tips with you on how you can choose the right music for your travel videos. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Pascal. I usually do commercial work in the travel industry, which is unfortunately not really possible right now because of the current situation, and therefore I have more time here for you to help you create better travel videos. If that sounds interesting, make sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notifications button, and let's start with the first tip. And the first tip is that you should choose your song not just because it's cool, but because it fits to the travel video you want to create. For example, if you're a party person, you might love electronic music that is all the time like bam, 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 bam. To be honest, when I go to parties I like that too, but it's not really the right song or the right style of music for travel videos. I see that a lot. People do that in their first videos. They use songs like that. That's why I say that here. And then it's like it doesn't really translate in the video because it's all the time the same. So it's also all the time the same cutting that at first makes it harder for you to really fit in all the content that you have, because it might not be that you have enough content to then create a travel video. Then you end up with some longer cuts and so on that's really not good. And oftentimes the music also doesn't change its pace, so it's better to have songs that sometimes have a lower intensity and sometimes a higher intensity, so that you can change the mood a bit in your travel video from time to time. But these songs usually don't allow that. So really, if you choose a song for your travel video, think about what song to get. Also, oftentimes you can't get the song that you hear in your normal life because they are copyrighted and you can't use them then on YouTube. Then your video will get blocked. So also be aware of that. Good platforms to choose songs is, for example, Artlist, Soundstripe and Epidemic Sound. That's what most creators choose. And my second tip here is to choose music that changes its intensity and speed. So what I mean by that? I mean that you should choose songs that are sometimes a bit slower, a bit less intense, and then in other parts they should be a bit faster and more intensive. The reason for that is that these slower and less intensive parts allow you to insert vocals, for example, to do a voiceover, or also to insert shots that are more interesting for the viewer to watch because maybe they tell a story or they show them something of the place that might be interesting, but that's not so good shown in like short clips where you want to have the clips a bit longer so that then they can really see what it is to be at a certain place. Obviously for voiceovers it's pretty good because when you have like fast-paced, intense, loud music in the background, it's quite hard to listen to someone, right? So then the faster and more intense parts, they are good to make the video engaging. We all love fancy transitions and fast cuts and so on. It's definitely what I love, especially from creators like Sam Collier and Ben TK. And there you can clearly see that they always use music that changes its pace. So they have some really intense parts with really fast cuts and really fancy transitions and so on, and then some slower parts that are better to tell a story. So be aware of that. Definitely choose music with a change in pace and intensity. Just imagine you would have a song that is for 3 minutes at the same speed and you have a cut every second or every 2 seconds. Like even if the transitions and the shots are cool, it would get pretty boring fast. So having music that changes all the time makes it a lot more interesting to watch, and that helps you a lot to create an awesome travel video. And another really important thing is to be careful with vocals. I generally like to have vocals in my travel videos, in the music of my travel videos, but when you have a voiceover, for example, or when you have a speaker in your video, then it can sometimes be a bit tricky, because if you have vocals in the background and then a voiceover that the viewer should listen to, it can be hard sometimes to listen to the voiceover. So in that case, it's actually good if you have 2 versions of the clip, which you can actually get at Epidemic Sound and Soundstripe, and sometimes at Artlist a bit less. And there you have like 2 versions of the clip, where in one version you have the vocals in there and in the other version there are no vocals. So then you can change all the time between vocals and non-vocals, and that helps you a lot to insert the voiceover. Of course, if you can't do that, it's not really an issue. You just have to make the music a lot quieter. Like I usually have my clips under a voiceover at about -21 to -25 decibels set in Final Cut, and that's usually a good value where you can clearly understand the voiceover even if there are some vocals in the background. But be aware of that. If you have two versions of the clip, one version with vocals, one version without vocals, that makes it a lot easier to edit that. And by the way, if you just started out shooting travel videos or videos in general, then you should check out my new camera basics course. There I teach you everything you need to know about the technical aspects of cameras, so that helps you a lot to increase the quality of your videos and also to make better buying decisions when getting a new mirrorless camera. I will leave a link to that in the description below if that sounds interesting. Just check it out. And let's come to the next tip, which is not to worry too much about the length of the song you want to use. Like maybe you find a song that is like way shorter than the travel video you want to create, or you find a song that is way too long. Both of these cases are not really problems, because at first you can always use more than one song in your edit, and you can also cut songs all the time and like readjust them, like put them together in other ways so that you can shorten them a little bit. And you can also fit two similar songs together by simply fading one out and fading the other one in. So for example, let's say you have a song that is only 1 minute 30 long and you want to create a 3-minute travel video. So what you can do is you can use this one song that you really like, but it is a bit too short, and then in the directly after the song, directly when it ends, you simply insert a voiceover or maybe a short vlog where you talk something into the camera, or maybe something funny that happened on your travels. And then because you actually have the vocals, the voice of yourself or whoever is in the shot in there, you can actually fade out the music from the first song, and then you can start another song, and then you continue with the actual travel videos. So this is an easy way to transition. But what you can also do when your song is too long, for example, you can search for similar parts of the song, then you can make a cut there, and then you cut the middle part out and you put it together so that the song becomes shorter. You really have to look for the beat there, like you really have to cut on the beat the different parts of the song, because otherwise that would be noticeable, of course. What you can also do sometimes is to like fade the first part of the song out and fade the other part in. In some songs that makes more sense, that helps a lot to shorten it, and therefore you can even use songs that would usually be a lot longer. What you can also do is to simply end the song by fading it out, or maybe just making a hard cut on the beat where also the song ends. Maybe a bit abrupt sometimes, but sometimes it works. So there are really endless options that you have to make a song work for your travel videos. And generally what I say is, don't make your travel videos too long. If your video is 4 or 5 minutes long, that might already be too long. Usually 2 to 3 minutes is fine, sometimes even just 1 minute. Because what many beginners do is they have some shots from their travels, but it's actually not too much, and then they insert really long clips that get really boring to watch. So instead of doing that, you should better have a 1 minute video than a 3-minute video, but therefore you have a really nice, awesome edit there that is fast and easy to watch. That's a lot better than having a 3-minute video, and also YouTube will recognize that, because if someone watches the full 1 minute of your video, then YouTube knows, okay, it's short, but people really like this video. But if you have a 3-minute video, but people only watch 1 minute, it's only 1/3. So YouTube might think, okay, yeah, people don't really enjoy watching this video. So really think about that. Better cut your video a bit shorter than longer, and don't worry too much about that when choosing your music. It's the most important thing is that your music really fits to the final video and not how long it is. Okay, so much for choosing the right song for your travel video. I really hope you enjoyed that. Really care about these tips. It really helps you a lot to make your travel videos more engaging, because I see it all the time that people start publishing travel videos on their channels and no one watches it, and definitely choosing the wrong music and having bad cutting because of the music sometimes is a huge factor. So be aware of that. Hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, then please leave me a thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell notifications button for upcoming videos. See ya.